Hi everyone! So the aim of this video today is to allow you to generate AI art like the following. This is on Stability AI's post for the announcement of Stable Diffusion. So here we've got a Picasso-esque piece, other little bits and pieces here. And this video is aiming to show you how to do this for free, with no wait lists or limitations on how many text-to-image generations you have, and without any need for coding experience, coding knowledge. There are just two prerequisites to this video, which are quite easy to get. Number one, you'll need a Google account, i.e. a Gmail email, which will allow you to use Google Colab. And two, a Hugging Face account, which will allow you to generate a token to use Stable Diffusion. You can set both of these up in less than 5 minutes, and I've listed links on how to do this below in the description. Okay, step one. First thing we need to do is locate the Hugging Face notebook, which contains the code needed to use Stable Diffusion, and open this notebook with Google Colab. This notebook can be found on Hugging Face's GitHub in the Notebooks repository. So let's just find that now. Notebooks, and then in the diffusers, and here it is. For those who aren't familiar with GitHub, it's basically a place where people and organisations upload their code or pipelines for sharing, collaboration and audit purposes, very simply. Okay, let's go to the notebook. If you're not familiar with notebooks, you can think of these as like interactive PDFs or environments where you can read, evaluate, print and loop through code. So sometimes you might hear it called a REPL, R-E-P-L. The way to open a GitHub notebook in Google Colab is to append part of its URL to a specific Colab URL. Google Colab explains this. This is the first page of Google Colab, and if you scroll down, it'll say saving and loading notebooks in GitHub, and this will tell us how to open notebooks in Colab. So for instance, consider the notebook at this address. So we're at a GitHub address and it's telling you where it is in the repository, or which repository and where it is. And what you do is you append this section onto like this end section of the GitHub URL essentially, and that will open the notebook in Google Colab. I've given a link down in this description box of this URL. You can just go down there and click on that, but otherwise I'm just going to do it manually in front of you so you can see it as well. Okay, so here is the Hugging Face notebook opened up in Google Colab. Okay, we're halfway there now. Next is to go through this notebook and follow the instructions. Before we start doing that, I just want to comment on this first paragraph here. So Stable Diffusion was created as a joint venture between these collectives or organisations here. It was created so that every person can access AI text-to-image generations that is on par with the likes of DALL-E without limitations. And by limitations, I mean not having to go on a wait list or having a limited number of credits before having to pay for these generations. It's amazing, and we're very lucky to have open source collaborators, creators like these people / organisations. So yeah, thank you to these people. Okay, anyway, enough of that. Let's get started and we will start running through the cells. So this is the first cell here, and it's just getting everything set up. So what you can do, you can either click this play button here, or what I tend to do is click within the code cell and press Shift Enter. And then this will pop up first time, click Run Anyway. And yeah, that's fine. Click OK. There we go, and it's run. And if you wanted to see it what's important. So running on a Tesla T4. So yeah, that's a bit of setup. Let us scroll down to the next cell. Okay, here we need to run this, and it's just installing a few things that we're going to need. So let's run that. So you see that I've kind of already downloaded some of these because I've had a play about with this already. There we go, that's run. So we've got everything we need downloaded. Next thing, right, okay, we need to accept the model license before downloading or using the weights. And where we do that is we click It's Card here. So you come to this page and you basically need to register to access its content. And you also need to accept a few things before using the model. You can see this is the license, and some of the main things it says: you can't use the model to deliberately produce or share illegal or harmful outputs or content. Makes total sense. We don't want that. And it goes through a few other things that you need to accept if you want to use this model. So I've already accepted this. However, you should have, what you'll see is a click, like a square box that you need to click, and then it's something like get access or access repository. So you need to do that. For this, you will need a Hugging Face account, which is why I mentioned the prerequisites at the start. It takes less than a minute to set up. Again, the link's in the description. But if you have that and you signed in, you should have a little box there that you tick. So yeah, once that's done, you can go back to your notebook and we'll run the next cell. And that's fine. It's just getting some widgets, and then let's go to the next one. So now it's asking you for a token. So what you need to do is you need to go to your Hugging Face account and create a token. So if you go to your icon up here, go to settings, access tokens. Let me just delete the one I made and create a new one to show you. So new token, Stable Diffusion. You want it in right role, and then create a token. There it is. Click this button here to copy it. Go back to your notebook, paste it in, and then click login. And there we go, login successful. So let's scroll down to the next bit. Okay, this is the bit where we're loading the pre-trained weights. As you can see, I've already done this here, but I'm just going to run this cell again so you can see. I was just waiting for that little tick there. So that's all done. Next cell, run that and wait for that to finish. Done. Right, there we go. This is your time to shine now. This is where you get to generate your image. So the text, i.e. how you would describe the image, what you want to generate, goes here, which is the prompt. And also what you want to save it as, the name of the image goes here, and I'll show you where it's saved in a second. But first, I'm just going to write what I want to generate. Oh God, time for some imagination now. Right, let's see if this makes sense. Porsche 911 driving down a ski slope set against a dreamy background with Christmas trees and a starry sky. Let's see what happens, and let's call it Porsche 911 V1. Okay, moment of truth, guys. Oh, that's not bad. I mean, I can't see the starry sky, but still, I'm impressed. Right, if you wanted to download this image, I'll just click this down arrow here, go to the hamburger. Do people know that as hamburger? Like 3 lines? Like, get off. Little hamburger. Anyway, show file browser, and there it is. If I double click, there's my Porsche 911. So that's what we just generated. And if I want to save it, I'm just like download. Should pop up at the bottom here. Download, and that should be good. And I think it'll go into my downloads essentially in my like browser settings. It'll go in here. Let's have a look. Yeah, I got some other Porsche ones that I generated. I generated this earlier. Love that one. That's my favourite. Anyway. So, if we were to run this again, let me change it to make sure the image saves as version 2. Let's just run it again and see what happens. Ooh, now that's better. Look at that. I mean, you know, like stuff like the number plate it's just a nice quirk, isn't it? But that's amazing. I love that. I can't believe, like, yeah, sorry guys, I'm geeking out, but this is great. I think we're so lucky this is available, and this, well, hopefully you'll see this easy to use. I'm going to save that one as well. Right, I've just saved that one. Right, as you can see, you know, when we ran this again, we generated a totally different image. If you wanted to be able to generate the same image, what you'd need is a seed. You can put any number in here if you want, but just leave it as it is. And what will happen is, if I run this, it'll generate a Porsche 911 image, like it's still using this prompt up here. However, what will happen is, if you run this, you'll get an image, but if you run it again, it'll call this seed, and basically you'll get the same image back. So, another banger. So, if I was to run this again, we should get exactly the same image. There we go. So yeah, you can run that one if you don't want to lose stuff, or yeah, it's just there at your disposal. And there's lots of other bits of code that you can use as well. So for instance, this one, it's a quicker version essentially. However, what you get in terms of less runtime, you lose with quality. Have I said that right? Yeah, less runtime, but reduced quality. So let me run this. Right, yeah, so here, it's quick, it's generated much faster. However, we've lost some quality, as you can see by comparing them. But you might want to run this, you know, to just quickly test out a few things, not use as much time, and then you can go and run these cells up here with your prompt. We've also got some bits of code where we can essentially generate multiple images. So let's just run that top one. And then this one generates a line of images. This one generates, you know, a grid of them. So I want to do this one. I want like a quad. What do we call it? Quad? I don't know. 2 columns, 2 rows. Let's see what it does. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change my prompt. Here. Come here. There we go. Never mind that astronaut. Sorry about that. There you go. In real time, errors, mistakes, whatever, not reading stuff. But yeah, hopefully this video has been useful. And well, let me know in the comments. Are you a coder, non-coder? If you're a non-coder, how have you found this? What do you think? Do you feel like it's accessible? And coders, what are you guys working on? Have you found cool new features and things like that? I'd love to know. Also, you know, as usual, likes are much appreciated. Lets me know if you want me to continue creating stuff like this, because this is a bit new to me. I'm a data scientist, but I've never really created data science content on YouTube. Likes would let me know if you want me to continue. Look at that. Different colours as well. I've just realised I ran the line one rather than the grid one. Anyway, whatever. They look great. So yeah. yeah, and if you do generate any, I'm on Instagram, more like on Instagram than any other kind of social media. So if you do generate some and you do want to upload them to Instagram, tag me in them. I'd like to see, what you're creating and things. Yeah, so thanks for watching.